So this is one of those movies where you're just gonna have to watch it for yourself and make your own opinion off of it, because a lot of people lied about it.
Are not a gift, but a curse.
In ancient Kahndaq, Teth Adam was bestowed the almighty power of the gods. After using these powers for vengeance, he was imprisoned, becoming Black Adam. Nearly 5,000 years have passed, and Black Adam has gone from man to myth to legend. Now free, his unique form of justice, born out of rage, is challenged by modern-day heroes who form the Justice Society. Okay, so let me go ahead and address the elephant in the room. Yes, this movie has been getting review bombed by everybody, and I mean everyone's been review bombing this movie. Now, normally I agree that a lot of DC movies aren't really doing that good, but this DC movie did a really good job in it, and The Rock really delivered his role. And I would say that the last good DC movie that I saw was probably Wonder Woman, like not the recent Wonder Woman, but the one before that, because the recent one wasn't really that good. And I guess you can count the Suicide Squad. I actually liked both Suicide Squad, so I know, don't hate me, I enjoyed both of them, but you know, I know some people didn't really like the original one. So Black Adam has a very simple plot, and it didn't really bother me that much with how simple it was. It's going to bother some people how simple the plot actually was, but I enjoyed it for what it was. So if you're going into this movie expecting some big story with Black Adam, this probably will not be that movie for you. So basically the plot of this, to simplify it, is this group of people are trying to keep a very powerful object away from some very bad people, so that way they can't take advantage of this power. And honestly, that's basically simplifying what the plot is without, you know, giving too much information away, because it's a key part of the story. And during that time, they released Black Adam, who has been in prison for over 5,000 years. With Black Adam being gone for so long, I mean he's been gone for 5,000 years, he comes back to a completely different world, everything has changed, and of course he's trying to get used to all of the changes. So yes, they do the thing where someone's been gone for so long, they come back to their world or planet completely changed, and they're just trying to adjust to all of the changes, and they're acting like, oh, you know, this isn't how I remember things. They do that. They even do the thing like they had in Shazam, where one of the characters is this really big superhero guy. Like, he's real big on superheroes. He knows everything about them. He has posters all around the wall and stuff. And he's basically trying to teach Black Adam the ropes of, you know, trying to be a superhero, like some great idol for a bunch of people. The only thing with that is Black Adam makes it very clear that he's no hero. During this, you have the Justice Society, who got hired to try and capture Black Adam and bring him as a prisoner because he's dangerous. I mean, he's been gone for 5,000 years, he's been gone for a really good reason, and now he's back and people are like, whoa, we need to contain this person. Now, let's talk about the Justice Society for a second, because I have some questions. This team consists of Hawkman, Dr. Fate, Adam Smasher, and Cyclone. They seem like a really strong team. I mean, you have Hawkman, who has this, he has wings and they do things. And then he has this mace that is really strong and it spins really fast. So he has that going for him. You have Dr. Fate, who is the team's, you know, sorcerer, I would say. And he's very powerful. He's a very powerful sorcerer. He uses magic and he's able to tell the future and things like that. So he's a really strong hitter for the team. Then you have Adam Smasher, who's, you know, able to make himself big. He's able to grow, smash things like that. And then you have Cyclone, who her power is she controls wind, and she can pretty much move anything that she wants, and she like swoops in and stuff. Her powers look really cool on screen. They do this really cool slow motion thing every time she uses her powers. It looks really nice for her. So I mean, that seems like a pretty strong team, right? Well, Black Adam is able to easily handle all of these guys coming after him. He doesn't really have a problem with them either, and I mean, like, he easily handles them. He's almost too strong. So I'm sure you can see why they needed to take him in as a prisoner, because they can't contain that. But here's the thing. If a team of superheroes who seem to be really strong together can't take on this one person, they can't take on Black Adam, why would you keep trying to fight him one-on-one if you as a group haven't been able to take him on? And Hawkman does this the entire movie. He keeps trying to fight him, and it's like, dude, keep getting your ass beat. Stop. So in this movie, they make Hawkman out to be the strong leader because he is the leader of the Justice Society. But he's getting thrown around by everyone. I mean, every single person in this movie throws his men around. Even Adam Smasher, who ends up knocking him out in one of the scenes. So they make him out to be this strong guy, but he's not really that strong, or at least they don't portray him as being strong in this movie at least. And to be honest with you, with him being the leader, I didn't really get that from him. If it was up to me, Dr. Fate should have been the leader of this entire group. Now, maybe Dr. Fate didn't want to be the leader, but he really had I got more vibes from him as a leader than I got from Hawkman. I think that my biggest complaint about this movie is they made Black Adam way too strong and almost OP to the point to where nobody can beat him. They make it seem like he's impenetrable. He has no weaknesses. Well, he has a weakness, but they don't really use that. So they make him seem really strong and no one's able to beat him. So it's like, what is his power scale? Like, what is his power level compared to everyone else in the DC? Also, the villains in this movie are kind of forgetful. I mean, to be honest, the movie didn't really need villains in it. It could have just been Black Adam versus the Justice Society, and that would have been good of a movie. But of course, they have to throw in more things and not just be about that, because neither Black Adam or the Justice Society are supposed to be bad people. Because, Black Adam, he isn't a villain. He's just an anti-hero. A good thing about this movie, though, is that it's full of action. Like, there's action throughout the entire movie. I like that about it because, when I go to see a superhero film, I want to see some action. Of course, I want a good story to go along with it, but you can do a good story with action throughout the entire thing. Unfortunately, this movie doesn't have a good story with it, but the action kind of, sort of makes up for that. You can really tell that they took a lot of notes from Marvel when making this movie because they have the humor in the film just like, any Marvel movie does. But it's not the cheesy humor. It's humor that actually works well with the film. There were a few times in the theater where everyone was laughing. I was laughing. The person who I was with was laughing. And we just had a good time watching this movie. And it was it's very comedic is what I'm trying to say. This movie was very comedic, but it wasn't cheesy comedic to where it didn't fit in. Everything fit well. The Rock does a really good job of staying into character but still delivering humor with it as well. Like I said, the story was kind of weak. Another thing that they did that I thought was pretty good was the way they handled his backstory, because this is his first film, the first time seeing him on the big screen, so you need to know a little bit about him. But they don't spend a whole hour trying to explain who Black Adam is, which for some reason, a lot of movies like to do that. They spend way too much time on their backstory, and then you finally get into the actual movie, and it's like, the movie's over. Like, by the time you finally get to the action and stuff, the movie's done. You spend so much time learning about their backstory that you don't get enough time moving forward with the movie. Not only that, but this movie does a really good job with one of its big twists in the movie. I got surprised by it. I was really shocked. I was like, oh, I didn't see that coming. They did that really good. And not to mention, if I'm not mistaken, they spent about 15 years developing this movie, I believe so. So I really enjoyed this movie. I feel like you should go and watch it. Go check it out. I mean, especially if you're not doing anything, it shouldn't hurt. This movie's getting a lot of bad rep for it, and it's not deserved, I feel like, because with them review bombing this movie, of course, it's going to change some people's views on it. Most people aren't going to go watch the movie because of that. But I think this is one of those movies that you actually have to go to the theater and see for yourself and judge it based off of that. Because I really enjoyed this movie. And I was thinking, oh, this movie probably isn't going to be good because, it's DC. Now, mind you, I am a big DC fan. I mean, I have a static tattoo on my arm. And I'm waiting for that to come to the big screen one day. But again, I mean, like, I would go check it out. Bring your friends, your family. The movie's PG-13, but some of the deaths and things are pretty you know, graphic. It's pretty intense. So just be wary with bringing kids and stuff. But hey, if you like this video and you like the channel, please leave a like down below, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time.